Hello and welcome to another episode of Whatever's Cool, the show where we talk about anything and everything that is cool in the world today. I am the Jewel of the Nile, Daniel Paul Crow. On this episode, I have a sit-down interview with Jem Stone. We talk about how she got into the world of professional wrestling, her trials of starting an OnlyFans, and also what she finds cool. It is something different. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Gullible to Having Confidence with Jem Stone. Jem, thank you so much for being part of the show. I know you have a very busy schedule putting together the next APW shows. But firstly, because I've only been watching APW for less than a year, I want to know firstly, how did you get into wrestling?
So I've been a long time fan. I used to watch as a kid. I don't remember how I started watching. I just remember Sundays being in the living room with mum and dad, WWE being on. I'm pretty sure it was still WWF back then, showing my age. Yeah, we just watched every weekend, and it didn't matter whether I was at mum's or dad's. Like if I was at dad's, like we'd watch wrestling, and on the ad breaks we'd wrestle each other, me, my dad, and my brother.
Wow.
And then sort of I got into my adult years, and I just kind of dropped off. Like I didn't think too much about it. And then I randomly got introduced to Ryan Betson through some friends. And he'd only just started wrestling. He'd never touched it beforehand. So we started a podcast together, and that ran for about 2 years before we needed to take a break. And the only reason we needed to take a break is we started going to the Indies here in Melbourne. And I've been longtime friends with Jay Something, who is a former part owner of DMDU. And Jay happened to mention something about having a wrestling show and we should come watch. And we went and watched, I believe it was the first Dream tournament, and we were hooked ever since. And since that first Dream tournament, I have been fully immersed in the indie scene here in Melbourne.
Wow, I envy you for going to that. I haven't fully seen it yet but you guys should definitely check that out on independent TV, because it's freaking amazing what they've got, all the content there. But I've seen a little bit of video from it, and I think it's an absolutely amazing show. Guys, definitely check out Deathmatch Down Under. That's a cheeky plug. God, every episode I'm going with the cheeky plugs. That's just
well, I do commentary for them, so it's topical.
Yeah, that's true. Oh wait, so hang on, I
work with DMDU now.
Oh my god, I did not know that. I thought I recognized that voice. I'm just
yeah.
So,
I've been on commentary for the past 2 shows and for the foreseeable future.
Because the one I went to in January, I was like, why do I fucking know this voice that's sitting in the back? Because I was filming, every time I tried to look, I couldn't see anybody. I'm like,
that was me.
You have the sweetest voice as well when you're doing commentary. I love that.
You are the sweetest thing. Thank you.
That's all right.
So, yeah, fully immersed.
I'm not saying to kiss your ass or anything like that. Like generally, like I was listening, and it's hard because I'm deaf in one ear, but I could hear you perfectly. And I thought, this girl knows what she's talking about, and she does it so well. I want to hear more commentary. All right, that's it. I'm gonna subscribe tonight, definitely after this, because I really want to check out more of your commentary.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I was very nervous about it because I've only done commentary twice, and I am still really fresh to learning moveset names and things like that. But I work with an amazing team that have nothing but support for me, and they're really encouraging. And yeah, I've just taken the mic and run with it, literally.
Yeah. No, it's you're saying that you're nervous, or so going through all that, and it's new. I wouldn't have known. Honestly, because just from what I could hear, I thought you were doing an amazing job. I really need to get on top of this tonight. So what got you to Adrenalin?
Word of mouth more than anything, actually. So a lot of people have been talking about Adrenalin Pro Wrestling, and I finally went to check it out. I was like, I want to see what this is about. And my actual first show going, we had Alex Colon over from America for some death matches.
Yep.
And the first night that I went was that show. And people knew that I was interested in ring announcing and things like that. I'd mentioned that like I've always wanted to live my Lillian Garcia fantasy. Huge fan. Lillian Garcia is a huge inspiration for me. And I remember sitting outside just talking to some of the talent, and I had Tom Barrett come up to me, and he dropped a run sheet and a pen in my hand, and he goes, "You're announcing tonight. Good luck." And I said, "Excuse me?"
What?
And it was just on the spot, like, "Here you go, give it a go." And so I took the microphone and I ran with it. And obviously, being my first show, very nervous, very shaky. I actually recently went back and watched that compared to where I am now. And I've come leaps and bounds, but I'm not going to lie, I started pretty all right. Like,
which show was this one?
This was oh goodness. It was around April last year, I think. So it would have been
New Beginnings?
I can't remember the name of the show. Possibly. Yeah.
Because
the name's leading me.
Yeah, I think it may be New Beginnings. So that was your first show, because I remember that the gentleman's names escapes me. He was the ring announcer at the time.
Bailey.
And then Bailey, yeah, and then you switched halfway through, and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm starting to see a trend here on this show that everyone I've had on Adrenalin, at some point, I've either been at their debut or know someone who's been like somewhere in between. And I think the only ones I haven't been to was Jason Crush, Jordan, and Adam Crow. I think that's the only one. Everyone else I've actually been at their debut.
Wow. There you go. So yeah, that was my first step in the ring. I had started retraining at Relentless School of Pro Wrestling prior to this, so I wasn't new to being in a ring, but I was very fresh to ring announcing, and I don't know, like I felt so comfortable and so at home, and it's just sort of taken off, and now I'm working with so many promotions, and it's going really well. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm in no rush to actually debut as a wrestler at this stage, because I'm really embracing the ring announcing and the commentary. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Well, you say you are training at Relentless. How did that sort of come about? Did you get in contact with JXT, or did someone just refer you? How'd you go?
So it came from Jay something again. So Jay and I were having a conversation at one of the DMDU shows, and Jay said something along the lines of, "We need more female talent, like we need more female wrestlers." And I was like, maybe I should go and train. And Jay goes, "I know you're gullible enough, that's why I said it to you." And I was like, "Challenge accepted, Jay." And that night we had that conversation. I went online, I sent Relentless School of Pro Wrestling an email. Jake Navarro got back to me. Jake Navarro is the one that runs the Relentless School of Pro Wrestling. So Jake got back to me with all the details that I needed to know regarding the school, and then I was down there the week after.
Wow.
And then when I came into APW, I found out that they were training at APW as well. And I thought I might as well immerse myself completely in what I'm working with. So I started training with APW as well.
Wow. What have you learned so far? Like, what's been some of the biggest challenges going into this?
The fact that I have zero cardio stamina, and cardio is like the most of what we do. I've also learned that, I often get really insecure about being a big personality. I'm very loud and very boisterous, and I can get very insecure about it sometimes. And in the wrestling space, it's exactly what I need to be. It's exactly what's wanted. You need to be that loud, boisterous, energetic. Like, I can be myself, and I can turn it up to 11 if I want to, which usually I do. I'm just me on extra. So yeah, I think the hardest thing for me was getting that self-confidence and believing in myself first and foremost. But I got so much support and so much feedback, and people were just like, "Look, you're amazing. You just need to be you in the ring." And I really took that on board. And now that I'm just being me, and I have fun with it. Every time I get into that ring, I am just ready to go. I'm so excited to be there. The fans are something else. I've never felt anything like that before, especially when you're standing in the ring. And, I have my little tagline at Adrenalin, and to hear people saying that along with me is it's just something else. yeah, I think the biggest struggle has been just believing in myself like others believe in me. I'm very hard on myself in that respect.
I think whenever we're doing anything in life, whether it be our dream or just doing our jobs, our regular 9 to 5s, we do struggle to believe in ourselves because you look at some other people and you put them on this pedestal and you think, okay, they're they're the best at their field. They're you could do no wrong. But what you don't see, and this has taken me years to understand myself, you don't see those mistakes, and you got to remember that we're all human.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to say that I don't make any mistakes. 'Cause I make so many mistakes. It's not funny, but a lot of people, I always say, did you guys know that I'm nervous? Like right now, I'm shitting myself right now as we speak. But a lot of people don't realize that I am super nervous whenever I do these interviews, and one of the biggest reasons why I'm not as scared in this interview or anything, because the very first time I met you a few weeks ago, there's always that one person you'll meet in life where automatically you just go, I love this person. Like it's just automatically you're drawn to them, whatever it may be. Normally when I meet people, it's either a handshake or something. You came up to me, gave me a big hug, and I was just like, this is my girl right now. I love her, and I think you are an incredible person, and you need to just to remember that people are human, but you can do whatever you need to get into in life, because you're absolutely fantastic.
I appreciate
I don't mean to make you cry.
No,
Sorry.
it's really sweet. I found one of the biggest things to help me that might help you as well is I've gone from being nervous to excited nervous. So when it comes to shows now, I'm not nervous like in a scared way. I'm nervous in a hurry up, I'm ready to go, let's get this done. Like I'm just eager to get at it. Which it took me a little bit to get into that. But the last couple of days, like I just out of nowhere, like my best friend Ryan Betson posted about the WWE SmackDown ring announcer. And he's like, sure, she's great. She's not Jem the wrestler great, but she's still pretty great. I was like, please, I'm just a lowly ring announcer. And so many people are like, no, you're the ring announcer. You're this, you're that. And I'm like,
yeah.
Tell me more.
But you are absolutely fantastic, and I love your work. Love your work. Now, recently you have been promoted as the GM of Adrenalin Pro Wrestling. Firstly,
yes.
What did that feel like? And the the next part of that question would be, what do you plan to do with Adrenalin Pro Wrestling moving forward?
So I'm only in charge of the Breakout division at this stage, which is fine by me because Adrenalin Pro Wrestling is a big task overall. It was quite a shock to me. Michael Thompson, our general manager, sat me down and he said, hey, like, I've got a little bit too much on my plate at the moment. And, I've, taken what I've done so well. He's like, I'd really like, if you'd be interested, I'd like you to take over the Breakout division for me. So that was a shock, first of all. I didn't think that I was in a position to be ready for that. But at the same time, I was like, why not? You don't know unless you try, right? So I took it and ran with it. My cardio is not the best, but I still ran with it. That's pretty much it. It was just, yeah. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, but no, it's it was quite a shock to the system, but it was also a huge honor more than anything else to know that, like, somebody like my general manager trusted me with that. As far as the future goes, it's hard to say because I don't know if you've seen social media lately. I have had a lot of people making they say they're asking questions, they're making demands.
Yep, so I have noticed that.
Yeah, so I've been juggling the demands as best as I can. I
haven't really helped because I have been one of those people too.
You definitely have been an instigator. But no, look, we've obviously had a few setbacks this year, and it's been a bit heartbreaking for everybody involved. But now that we've got a new arena, we've got somewhere to present our breakouts now, which is also our training arena. I'm really excited not only to show the world what our arena looks like and what we're capable of, but that Breakout is its standalone thing, and that we don't, like, even though we have the Adrenalin Pro Wrestling name, we don't need the blanket of Adrenalin Pro Wrestling overall. We are a standalone division. And it's perfect for our new starters as well, you know, our up and comers, lots of debuts on Breakout, which is perfect because our Breakout shows are for me, they are more like homely shows. I don't know, they just feel a bit more close knit. Everything just feels like closer, tighter, warmer. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels, I don't know, it feels as exorbitant and as exciting as our main shows, but just in a sweeter, more like homely way. And I just want people to thrive the way I have. So I'm willing to give those opportunities. But because of those setbacks, we have a big year ahead, a very big year ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen in Adrenaline Pro Wrestling. That's for sure. Speaking of debuts, because we had Luke Resner on here, and I want to debunk this because I went back and watched Breakout 32, which you all can check out at Adrenaline Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel. Link is all in the description.
We are also on Indie Wrestling TV.
Yes, Indie Wrestling TV. But so with this, he was saying that he obviously, you know, did freeze up a little bit, and he said that you sort of kind of nudged him. I'm looking at the footage, I'm thinking, where the is this nudge that you're this look that you're going? Do you remember anything that was going on there?
So I actually did watch that interview. I do watch your interviews, obviously. Like I really enjoy what you do, so I can't not. And watching it back, initially I didn't remember, but then I did. I remember standing in the ring and he was still on stage, and I could see he was just soaking it in. And good, that's what you want to do on your debut. Soak it in, enjoy it. And I just sort of looked over at him and I smiled and I gave him a gentle nod. I didn't think anything of the gentle nod. That was just like me saying, yes, kids, soak it in, enjoy it. And he's obviously taken it as I've got a move cue, which is not the case at all. I don't cue anybody. I let people do their thing. Like, it's your moment, soak it in. I'm just there to announce you and let people know your name. So I was happy for him to soak it in, but like obviously that friendly, like, yes, you get this kid nod, he's taken as a cue, which is probably a good thing because it looks like he did get a little distracted there. But yeah, now that I think about it, I was like, oh, I didn't mean it in that way, but hey, happy to help, you know.
Yeah. Oh well, he had a great match with James Marshall. Speaking of James Marshall, make sure to use the hashtag James Marshall OnlyFans. Let's make that happen. It was just it was a good match, and I think he needs to be very, very proud of that because he's going to be going places, that's for sure. Speaking of OnlyFans, though, it is leading up to this next question I wanted to ask. Now, obviously, a while ago, I think it was just before Christmas, wasn't it, that you were saying that you wanted to start OnlyFans, right? Firstly, before we go through the saga, what actually happened, obviously there is a demand for you to do that. What is it that's driven you to do something like that? Because for me, automatically OnlyFans, the brain goes, because obviously the stereotypical thing is like, oh, you know, they're going to do nudes, they're going to be doing like that. I keep forgetting that OnlyFans is for exclusive content. Not that What If It's Cool is going to be doing OnlyFans, but that was the first thing, and I actually did message you and ask you about this. They said no, just be lewds and all that kind of stuff. But what sort of drives you to do something like that?
I think for me, it was the demand. I unfortunately am very insecure in myself. I may not seem it in the ring, but I'm a very insecure person in my own body. And the amount of, the NGL links on Instagram and Twitter and that sort of stuff, there's that app called NGL. There was lots of like, you should make an OnlyFans. I'd love to see what's under those clothes, that sort of stuff. And I thought to myself, well, if there's a demand and I can make a little bit of extra dollary dues out of it, I might as well. and then not just that, like I thrive off unfortunately, like a typical woman, I thrive off compliments and things like that. And I thought it'd be a really good way to gain some self-confidence in my skin the way it is. And I'd had some friends, I'd talked to a few people about it. And like, while the monetary thing was a bonus, for me, it's more for my own ego, I think. But so far, it's been phenomenal. Like the outpouring of like, love and praise towards me in the skin that I'm in right now has really made me comfortable in my own body. And I feel a lot more secure within myself. And it's just a bit of fun, to be honest. Like, I'm just having a bit of fun. I get to do some photo shoots with some friends that I've always wanted to do photos with. I've got one coming up in May, which is super exciting. I'm doing a collab. And I've got photographer friends that want to play around and do new things, and I can just do like crazy stuff with them and just pop it up there. And, I've got somewhere to put stuff that you can't put on general social media because, oh no, if there's a little bit of nipple showing through a sports bra, like you get the post deleted, So at least I can post somewhere where it's not going to get removed or I don't have to edit it. I mean, let's take Shazza McKenzie, for instance. She posted the most innocent video on Instagram this week, super innocent, fully covered, still somehow got flagged and taken down. So it just gives that outlet for me to be a bit more sort of raunchy and show a little bit more. And yeah, it was just sort of the pros outweighed the cons, and I thought, why not?
Well, I have seen some of the behind the scenes photos that you have posted, and you look like you are having a lot of fun doing it. And kudos to you for doing something like that, because like you said, not a lot of people are comfortable in their own skin to do something like that. And I mean, I know for me, like, I think I'm the most handsomest man in the world, but I still wouldn't do anything like that. I don't know. It's just not something that I'm comfortable with doing. But like I said, kudos to you for doing that, and hope you do really well with that one. Hope you make a lot of money, because here at What If It's Cool, we love to make money. We love to hear people making money, and if any way for us to get some of that money, we love to do that too. But obviously you've had a bit of a run-in with OnlyFans. Now, I obviously know the story because we've been chatting off camera. What exactly happened?
So they refused to verify me. I lost count of how many times I deleted accounts and remade them and everything they needed to. Like, I dolled myself up to the nines to make myself look perfect for, like, they do like a little thing where you have to take a photo of yourself holding your ID in a certain way. And I did that probably it's just for verification purposes so that your face matches your photo, but they don't keep that. It's all just for verification purposes, and they delete all that. They
tell you that they don't keep that. I like the moment you said to holding your ID, I went, no, I'm not doing that. Way.
Yeah. And even though I did everything they asked, because I've moved addresses and I had the little sticker on the back of my license, because my address doesn't match up with the front of my license, they kept denying it. And I escalated it and the whole shebang. And it just ended up being such a task. And after months and months, it was about 3 months that I tried every single day. It got to the point where I ended up just giving up. And I'd heard about Fansly and how they were a bit more lenient on it was the same protocol to sort of join up, but they added me, like they accepted and verified me really quickly, as opposed to OnlyFans, who just kept delaying the process for whatever reason they chose. Even though they had both sides of my photo ID with the sticker on the back. So I ended up just giving up in the end. I was like, fine, you've won this battle. Like, I'm not going to lose a fighting war. And I found also with Fansly compared to OnlyFans, from what the research that I've done, I've got a lot more, I can do a lot more with Fansly, and I get a better monetary return on it as well.
Okay, fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. But why wouldn't you try there's obviously Patreon. I'm trying to remember, there was one other one. I was just about to say, and I've lost my train of thought. No, I can't remember. What about Patreon?
Patreon, I just didn't think of, to be honest with you. I have like a private Twitter. I considered opening that up to subscriptions and things like that. And I also considered like a private Snapchat and things like that. But yeah, yeah. I don't know, Fansly just sort of weighed out to be the better one, like as far as convenience, ease of posting and things like that. It's less sort of management on my end, which means it frees up a lot more time because I am so busy between just ring announcing and being the breakout managing and setting things up for our future breakups and things like that. It's just a lot more easy on the time management side of things.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Well, we're nearly at the end of the portion of this interview, and I'm saddened because I'm enjoying talking to you. Definitely have to have you on again. Next time if I have an episode of Hate and involves Adrenalin Pro Wrestling, I'm definitely going to get someone else because I don't want to get in the middle of that and being called a Jason Crash fanboy. Jason Crash fanboy. And that was a very interesting episode.
That just sounds like a little bit of jealousy to me, but I'm not biased because I'm the manager.
Yeah. What is something that you find cool that nobody else does?
Oof. Body modification. Like heavy stuff, so like scarification, split tongues, all that sort of cool stuff, and body suspension as well, where they like put hooks in your back and hang you from trees.
Whoa,
and stuff like that.
Whoa!
Yeah. See why? See?
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God!
Right up my alley. So I'm a former body piercer, and I used to manage tattoo studios as well. And part of that territory comes into the heavy body mod side of things. And I find body modification fascinating. I myself have some scarification. I have silicone implants in my ear in the shape of a lightning bolt. And eventually I would like to suspend as well. So that's my little niche, my little hobby outside of wrestling.
Okay. I am so uncomfortable right now.
It's pretty intense. It's not for everybody, and I understand that. But yeah, it's the one thing that it's been with me for over a decade. So
no, because that's not the reason why I'm uncomfortable. The first thing when you said
hooks in the back.
Yeah. The first thing that came in my head was, do you remember Hostel 2?
Yeah. Yeah, no, none of that, thankfully. My God. That creepy. Yeah,
that was the first thing that came in my head. I'm like, oh my God, no.
Oh, goodness. Sorry to traumatize you like that.
oh my God. I can't believe I got conned into watching that movie. I was like, after I went, nah, I'm done. I'm going.
Yeah, so, agreed. There's too far and that's it.
Apparently it got worse in that movie. I after that scene, I was done. Oh God, going to really bad flashbacks. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Clown's going to eat me. Oh. So yeah, that's my little niche.
All right. Jem, where can all our listeners and viewers find you on all your socials?
You can find me at Jem the Wrestler on everything, including Fansly. You can also see me live on IWTV and YouTube with Adrenalin Pro Wrestling, and you can hear me on IWTV with DMDU.
Beautiful. That's great to hear. Now, Jem, I would firstly say to you, you are an amazing woman.
Thank you.
Own yourself. You're going to go far. Jem Stone, thank you so much for being part of the school. Can't wait to have you.
Thank you for having me. I've been hanging for this moment, so thank you so much for having me on. I'm stoked.
I'm glad you're stoked. I'm glad you're on the show.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Have a wonderful night.
And that's the end of that episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Want more from Wonderful School? Make sure to check out the YouTube channel where you can find the latest episodes of Mukbang Around, Reaction, and of course the vodcast. And don't forget to follow the show on all socials. It can be found at What If It's Cool. Keep that support coming. And until next time, I'll catch you on next one. Peace.